Here is your Radio Theater Channel weekly podcast for download. The RTC still has the very best old-time radio on the live streaming. And if it's music you love, tune in to the RTC Music Channel, where this link and many others are on our website at oldtimeradiolisten.com. Now, here's Jim.
The subject of this week is afternoon radio. From 9 a.m. to 3:30, the radio is for Mom as she listens to soap operas and works around the house. Here's two examples. First is Joyce, Jorden, M.D., followed by Mama Bloom's Brood.
The sickened body I try to heal, the sickened soul I try to comfort. For to everyone, rich or poor, young or old, a doctor's hand is a helping hand.
Dreft, America's favorite brand for dishes, presents the real experiences of Joyce Jorden, M.D.
What greater sacrifice could there be than to serve a prison term for a crime of which you are not guilty? That was Fran Hamilton's sacrifice for love of her frail sister.
Joyce Jorden will be back in a few moments to tell you more about Beth and Fran Hamilton. But first...
What's new on your beak, Mike?
Well, Pat, the warm weather's certainly bringing out the soapbox artists. See that woman over there?
Sure, and she's got quite a crowd. You expecting a riot?
No, they'll break up soon and go stampeding into the store like they did yesterday.
How's that, Mike?
Well, this lady's after telling them about that new drift for dishes. That sends them running into the store. Then out they come, loaded with boxes as green as the Emerald Isle.
And you, lady, better be after getting yourself a bright green box of this new Draft. Did you know that Draft, already America's most popular dishwashing brand, is now better than ever, improved still more? Well, just listen to this. Draft has always done dishes faster, easier, and better than any soap on the market. And now this new improved Draft makes more suds than any other product known. That's a fact, ounce for ounce in the hardest water. And those new Draft suds wash dishes cleaner than any soap in the world. Never leave a dulling, streaky film. Dishes shine even without wiping. And wait till you see those suds tackle greasy pots and pans. Wash them free from grease without any scouring. And, happy thought, your dishwater stays clean feeling until the last dish is done. This improved Draft is a milder Draft, too. It's kinder than ever to your hands. It's thrifty, too. Each box lasts longer, washes 1/4 more dishes. Try new improved Draft yourself. If dishwashing's a headache, you'll love that new Draft. And here's Dr. Jorden.
I was surprised when I received the urgent call from Mark Andrews to come to see his wife, Beth, who was desperately ill. I found that Beth was beyond help, but I did all I possibly could to aid her. And then Beth went into a coma. While we were standing watch, Mark and I began to discuss the possibility that Fran Hamilton, Beth's sister, had been sentenced unjustly to a term in a reformatory for the theft of a jeweled clip. Beth suddenly spoke up. She began a confession. She talked weakly and between gasps, but her words were perfectly understandable.
Fran was telling the truth. I wouldn't admit it except that I know I'm dying.
We won't admit yet that you're dying, Beth.
Oh, I can't let you die, darling.
But even so, if you can possibly tell your story, it will help you.
Oh, don't pull that on me. I've meant all along to tell the story sometime.
Oh, we shouldn't let her talk.
As a doctor, I agree with you. But as a woman, I disagree. Fran Hamilton needs her chance. Only a confession from Beth will give her that chance.
Is that a confession? I'm not strong enough to say any more. I'm through.
That'll be the plasma from the hospital. The plasma will give Beth strength enough to talk. Go to the door, Mark, and take the package from the man, will you?
Yes, Dr. Jorden.
You're giving me a blood transfusion.
Yes, I am.
It won't save my life.
Perhaps you're wrong. I hope you're wrong.
No, you don't. You hate me like poison.
I don't hate you, Beth. I'm honestly sorry for you.
Don't waste your sympathy on me, because I don't want any of it.
You'd better not talk. It's too hard for you.
Dr. Jorden. Beth, how are you, darling?
Swell, terrific.
I'll go to work, Mark. You'll have to help me. Do you think you can stand it?
I'll do anything if it'll help Beth.
I'll have to give her the plasma drop by drop. I'll have to siphon it off. I'll need alcohol and boiling water.
Yes, Dr. Jorden.
I don't want any nasty old blood.
It will make you feel stronger, Beth.
So I'll be able to confess.
Hurry, Mark. Bring me some clean towels, too. I'll use this table. I hated to tell the anxious young man that his wife only had one chance in a million to pull through. I hated to make it harder for him. I siphoned off the plasma drop by drop while Mark held the vessel. When it was all over, we wrapped Beth in many blankets because she was apt to have a chill.
Well, she looks more like herself, Dr. Jorden. Well, there's all the difference between night and day. Her eyes are bright and her cheeks are pink.
She does look lovely.
Dr. Jorden, I feel strong suddenly and ready to go on. Will I be this way for a long while?
Well, that depends.
On what?
On a great many things. But you're strong enough to tell the rest of the story, Beth, and clear up the whole ugly business. Will you do it?
I've changed my mind. I don't want to.
How can you be so devilish when you're on the brink of...
You almost said it. Eternity. Mark, don't stare at me with those great eyes of yours.
I was just looking at you with my heart in my eyes. I love you, Beth.
You'd have done better to stick by Fran. She'd have made you a better wife. I haven't been a wife to you.
No, we'll find happiness someday, Beth. I'm happy right now, just being able to take care of you.
You're a fool. I don't like fools. Fran's a fool. She shouldn't have let me get away with it.
Beth, lean back against the pillow and try to hold your breath.
I'm done, I know it. Right this minute I can feel the new blood you've given me slipping away. Okay, I'll come clean while there's still time.
Talk slowly and distinctly. Mark, get a pencil and paper.
Why?
I want you to take down every word Beth says.
Oh, but why?
Because it's her confession. And it will have to stand in a court of law.
You're taking me very seriously all of a sudden.
I've always taken you very seriously, Beth. Go on.
Well, it was just the opposite of what Fran said. I went down at the noon hour to meet her. I bought the clip with bills I'd stolen from Fran's little bank where she kept the rent money. I bought it from a girl I didn't recognize.
The substitute.
Go on, Beth.
I walked away from the counter. I had to pass the precious jewelry counter to get to the door. A clerk was showing a clip to a lady. It was exactly like the one I just bought.
Only it was real?
Yes.
Are you writing this down, Mark?
Yes, I am. That high color's going out of Beth's face, Dr. Jorden. Should she talk so much?
In the final analysis, it will make very little difference, Mark. Go on, Beth. You've explained about the clip you bought. But how do you explain the fact that the clip you pawned was worth $5,000?
Oh, that's easy. I stood by the precious jewelry counter watching, and the customer caught a glimpse of the clip at the other end of the counter. And the clerk moved away, leaving the real clip all by itself on a little velvet pillow. I had a flash of genius.
Are you getting this, Mark?
Yes, every bit of it.
Go on, Beth.
I am going on. It was a cinch. While the clerk and the customer had their backs turned, I substituted the imitation clip for the real one and put the real one in my pocket.
Oh, good Lord.
Quite a story. It was a cinch.
It's so simple, it's appalling.
Fran never caught on, and she lied like a trooper.
Yes, like a trooper. What did you do when the clerk came back, Beth?
What did I do? I wasn't there when he came back.
I see.
I guess they didn't discover that the clip was missing until a week or so later.
Don't talk anymore, Beth. Rest now.
But I want to go on. I loved my clip.
Yes.
I got a great kick out of wearing it because I knew that it was worth $5,000.
When did you decide to pawn the clip and buy a fur coat?
The day of that first snowstorm. It was seeing the snow that made me want a fur coat. I pawned the clip for the price of the coat. And things started to happen.
I can't understand it. Beth, Why didn't you tell the truth? They'd have forgiven you if you'd told.
Oh, no, they wouldn't have forgiven me. Oh, no. I'd have gone to jail and I couldn't have stood it. It was far better for Fran to go. She was strong. She could stand it.
Oh, you're a little devil.
Yes, I am.
I can't believe my ears.
You're so stupid, Mark. I've always hated you because you're so stupid.
You've always hated me?
You think I'd have married you if I'd have had any choice? All my life I've dreamed of lovely things happening to me. Jewels, mink coats, a wonderful husband who was a millionaire. Well, I had my jewel for 2 weeks. I had my fur coat for a day. I married you.
I feel as if I'm the one who's dying. All these things you've said, Beth.
Have they made you hate me?
No. No, I love you.
They've made Dr. Jorden hate me more than ever.
No, Beth, I don't hate you. I've never hated you.
Oh, at once I'm very sleepy. I want to go to sleep.
But first you must sign this paper Mark's written out.
I don't want to.
You must. Have you a fountain pen, Mark?
Yes.
Put the paper in front of her. Beth, take the pen in your hand and sign your name.
I don't want to. I can't.
She's slipping away, Dr. Jorden. Don't make her do anything she doesn't want to.
But it's Fran's only chance.
So what?
Beth, if you sign this paper, your story will be printed in all the newspapers. The papers will say how clever you were, and they'll reproduce your picture, and everybody will say how beautiful you were. But if you don't sign your name, nobody will ever know you existed, except just 4 or 5 people. Don't you want to be famous, Beth? Don't you want this whole city, this whole country to talk about you?
Give me the pen.
Good.
Where do I sign?
Right here.
You know, it's like the first time I ever signed my name. When I was a little kid. It's so hard. So hard to write.
Take the pen, Mark. Take it from her fingers before she blots the paper.
I looked so pretty in my mink coat.
Dr. Jorden. Dr. Jorden.
Yes, Mark. She's dead. But we have her signed confession. Fran is free. I only hope it isn't too late for her to enjoy her freedom. Oh, I was asleep and I woke up with such a start. Oh, is my baby Mark, you're crying. Has anything happened to my baby?
It's already America's favorite for dishes, and it's now better than ever. What is it?
Dreft?
Right. Wonderful Dreft has now been improved still more. It does dishes far quicker, far easier, far better than the best soap ever could.
Dreft?
Right. The suds alone are amazing. New Dreft in the hardest water gives you more suds ounce for ounce than any product known. And their hard-working suds that wash dishes cleaner than soap. So clean they shine even without wiping. Cut grease so completely, even the dishwater never looks greasy, never feels greasy. You can't believe it till you try it.
Dreft?
Right. This new Dreft even has a new mildness, And it always was milder for colors, you know, than the most expensive soap flakes. Now it's really easy on your hand.
Draft?
Right. It's amazingly sneeze-free, too. And every package now lasts longer. Washes 1/4 more dishes. Try it. If you like easy dishwashing, you'll love the new...
Draft?
Right. Now, this is Ron Rawson inviting you to listen again to Joyce Jorden, M.D., brought to you by Procter & Gamble, makers of Dreft, America's favorite brand for dishes. It's new, it's improved, it's better than ever. Dreft.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.
Well, well, well. Here's Mama Bloom's brood. It's Sunday morning in the Bloom household. Mama and Papa have just finished breakfast. Mama is clearing away the dishes, and Papa is reading his paper. But he seems to be perturbed about something.
Mama, why don't you wake them up?
Let them sleep.
It's after 12. Are they going to sleep all day?
What's the difference, Jake? It's Sunday. They don't have to go to work. Let them sleep.
Just because it's Sunday, do they have to sleep all day?
What difference does it make to you?
Why do you have to make breakfast 10 times?
In the first place, I only have to make breakfast 2 times. And in the second place, maybe I like making breakfast.
Make them get up and eat breakfast when I do. It wouldn't kill them. A second breakfast is a terrible bother.
What bother can it be to you if I cook the breakfast?
Is this a restaurant where anybody can have breakfast whenever they want it?
Look, Jake, the store's your business. The house is my business. You run your department and I'll run my department.
Yeah. Mama, what time did they get in last night?
To tell you the truth, I don't know.
How can you not know? In the bedroom is a clock, ain't it?
I didn't look at the clock.
Didn't you hear them come in?
Jake, you know never in my life did I go to sleep before the girls come in.
Then you must know what time they came in.
Jake, I'll tell you a secret.
Yeah?
If they come in late, I know the next morning you're going to ask me what time did they come in.
Yeah?
And so that I shouldn't have to tell you a lie, I make it my business not to look at the clock.
And then what?
Then when you ask me, I can tell you I don't know.
Oh, Mama, where can they stay out so late?
How do I know? When you take me out, you always bring me home at 11:30. So what goes on after that, I wouldn't know.
Was Sarah out with Sidney?
Who else?
Is she going to marry him?
How should I know? Today everything is different. In our day, Jake, a girl who went with a man as long as Sarah's been going to Sydney would already be married to him and have 2 children.
Yeah, but do you think she's going to marry him?
She didn't tell me nothing.
Don't she ever ask you anything?
No. A girl used to come to her mother for advice, and now she writes to a newspaper.
Tell me, has he got any money?
To tell you the truth, Jake, I didn't search him.
But he's got a job, ain't he?
Usually he's got a job. Right now he's tired, so he's resting.
Tired? Tired? What's he tired
He
for?
didn't tell me.
That's all I need. A son-in-law who's always tired.
Don't get yourself aggravated, Jake. He still ain't your son-in-law, and he'll get a job. He can always get a job. Last month he had 3.
3 jobs in 1 month? What's the matter with the job's no good?
Sarah said they didn't fit his personality.
Personality? Personality? What does that mean?
How should I know? Am I a college professor?
And another thing, Becky. I'm telling you, if Sarah and Yetta come into breakfast in pajamas, I won't stand for it. Pajamas you sleep in, not eat in.
What difference does it make to you what they wear?
I will not stand for pajamas. Do I wear pajamas to breakfast?
What are you fighting with me this morning for? For Fighting is bad for you. It hardens the artillery.
All right, artilleries are schmillies.
All right,
Wake up the girls.
all
Wake
right.
up the girls.
If it'll make you any happier, I'll wake them up.
And if it'll make you any happier, let them sleep.
No, I'll wake them up. It's time they got up anyhow. Sally! Yvette! It's almost 1 o'clock. Get up.
Mm-hmm. Do you think they'll pay any attention to you?
Sure, they'll pay attention to
No,
me.
they will. Well, why don't they get up then?
Maybe they didn't hear me.
No, why don't you speak louder?
You want I should yell at them? What are my daughters, streetcars?
I am not asking you to yell. I am only asking you to holler.
What is the difference? A holler is a yell, and a yell is a holler.
Uh-huh. You're telling me English. What am I, a greenhorn?
What you doing now, Jake? Hollering or yelling?
What difference is
You
it?
see, I told you, a holler is a yell.
All right. Have it your way. But meanwhile, they are not getting up.
If they can sleep with you hollering or yelling, they must be tired.
Mama, are you going to ask them to get up?
Didn't I already told them?
Yeah, but how loud did you told them?
How can I measure how loud I told them?
For the last time, Mama, they're going to sleep all day.
For the last time after the last time, I don't know.
Hey, Mama, I'm too tired to argue with you.
And they're too tired to get up.
If I am tired, it makes no difference. But if they are tired, then it makes a difference.
You're tired, so they should get up.
What did they do last night? They should be so tired.
Jake, already I told you 7 times. Sarah was with Sidney.
Mm-hmm. And 8 times I have answered you, I don't like it.
Jake.
Yeah, what is it?
Jake, tell me what's worrying you.
Worrying me? Nothing, Mama.
Something is worrying you. Why do you act like this?
Act like what?
I don't know what you act like. I just know something's on your mind.
Becky, you can always tell.
Well, what is it?
Becky, Sam and I are having arguments.
Sam, your partner?
Partner? He's my partner up to now.
You're not splitting up with Sam.
Oh, no, Mama. I am not splitting. Sam is splitting.
Well, why is he splitting?
Why? I don't know.
So that's what's worrying you.
Yes, Mama, that's what it is.
Well, since when did this happen?
Maybe 4 weeks, maybe 5.
Why didn't you tell me, Jake?
But, Mama, why should I tell you?
Am I a stranger?
No, you're not a stranger, but...
If you're sick, you tell me. Why don't you tell me if the business is sick?
But what good will it do telling you?
Can't I worry a little bit, too?
All right. I told you, so what?
What did you argue about?
Nothing.
Nothing?
No, nothing at all.
How can you argue about nothing at all? You and Sam aren't married.
Well, Mama, it's like this.
Mm-hmm. Now it comes out.
You know, when Sam and I started in business, we each put up the same amount of money, you remember?
Yes, why not?
And we were each supposed to draw the same amount.
Sure, I know.
For 9 years, Mama, it went on like that. Last year, you know, Sam's daughter got married, so he came to me and he said he needed another $1,000.
Well, sure, she had to get ready her torso.
Mm-hmm. So he drew the $1,000 extra.
Say, a man's daughter gets married, what can he do?
And now comes this year, and I said to Sam, as long as last year you took an extra 1,000, this year you'll take 1,000 less.
Mm-hmm. What did he say?
What did he say? He said he couldn't do it.
Why did he say he couldn't do it?
What difference does it make what reasons? He said he couldn't do it.
Uh-huh. So about this you're fighting?
Sure, about this we are fighting. If every time he wants $1,000 and takes it, there's the business going to be.
One time ain't every time,
But if he
Jake.
does it once, Mommy, he can do it again.
But he didn't do it again.
He shouldn't have done it one time.
Well, the time to tell him that was when he done it the first time, not now, a year later.
I told him then, but he said he had to have it.
Well, as long as you gave it to him, why start a fight now?
Why? Do I take $1,000 extra every time I turn around?
Partners shouldn't fight.
Mama, I am not fighting with him. He is fighting with me. Besides, if I came to him and told him I needed $1,000, do you think he'd let me have it?
Did you ask him?
I don't have to ask him, Mama. I know.
Well, what do you need $1,000?
Mama, I don't need it. But if I did need it and I asked him for $1,000, I know he wouldn't give it to me.
So you don't need it, but if you did need it and you asked him and he said no, you'd start a fight. So before anything happens, you're starting a fight just to be on the safe side,
Mama,
huh?
I wouldn't ask him for $1,000 if I started it.
If you wouldn't ask him, then he couldn't say no, and then there couldn't be a fight, so what are you fighting about?
But suppose, Mama, I did ask him. There's no use talking. Sam and I are splitting. I could get 1,000,000 partners.
But you couldn't get 1,000,000 Sam.
I could get better than Sam.
Sure, but you could get Joyce and Sam, too. It's better you don't change horses until you've got your bridges crossed. Sam is a good partner. Don't jump out of the frying pan into a kettle of fish.
I don't need partners to take $1,000 every minute.
Don't be so quick. Look before you hesitate.
Yeah, I made up my mind. 2 o'clock today we are meeting, and unless he is willing to take $1,000 less this year, we are splitting up.
Why 2 o'clock today? 10 years you and Sam have been together, and suddenly you can't stand him after 2 o'clock. Couldn't you wait maybe for another week?
Mama, I wouldn't wait an hour.
Let me talk to him, eh?
Talk I don't want. I want $1,000.
Oh, good morning, darling.
Hello. Go back and take off those pajamas.
Well, what's the matter with these pajamas?
In my house, you don't wear pajamas to breakfast. Pajamas you wear to bed.
Well, cheer up, Pop. I won't be in your house much longer.
Huh? Where are you going?
Sally, don't talk foolish. Papa's got enough worries.
I'm not talking foolishness.
Don't worry me this morning. You stay out all night, get up in the middle of the afternoon, and you come down in pajamas. And right away, you start with riddles.
Well, this is no riddle, Pop. After all, Sidney and I are jumping off the bridge together.
You're going swimming?
Yes, swimming in the sea of matrimony. In other words, I've consented to make Sidney an honest man.
Sidney was stealing something?
Now, wait. I'll start all over again. Sidney and I are going to be married.
You're going to be married?
Sure, you've heard of it. Wedding bells, rice, old shoes. Some of the best people do it.
With Sidney?
Yes, with Sidney.
Sarah, you're not joking.
It's too late for that now. We're taking the fatal step 4 weeks from Monday.
4 weeks from Monday? But why didn't you tell us before?
Well, it just happened last night. That is, Sidney thinks it just happened last night. I made up my mind a couple of months ago. And last night he popped the fatal question, and I had the answer all ready. Now you two figure that out. Meanwhile, I'll change these pajamas. So long.
Becky, what are you crying about, Becky?
Can't I cry a little? Sidney's a fine boy.
Yeah, but what's wrong with Sarah? Even if she does wear pajamas, maybe Sidney likes pajamas.
But you know, Sidney's got no job. Huh?
Yeah, he'll get a job. The worst comes to worst, he can go to work for me. That is, as soon as I get my new partner.
What new partner?
What new partner? Did you already forget that Sam and I are meeting at 2 o'clock?
Oh, you mean about the $1,000?
Sure, about the $1,000.
Don't worry, he won't mind if you draw it.
If I draw it?
Sure you draw it. Sarah's got to get a torso.
Mama, you're right.
Yeah. I can't stand it. I got to call somebody up.
Well, who are you going to call up?
I don't know who to call first. I'd like to call everybody first.
Well, Mama, first you should call Sam. After all, he's entitled to it.
Yeah, dial me up the number, Jake. But when they answer, don't you tell them. I want to tell them myself.
All
huh?
right, Mama, all right. Just a minute. No. Hello. Here it is. Hold the wire. My wife wants to tell you that Sarah's engaged.
Yeah, hello, Sam. Is Dora there? Jane, the minute she comes in, tell her to call me. I got swell news. Yeah, Sarah and Sidney are engaged. Yeah, just happened last night. Yeah, Sidney's a fine boy. Sure, he's a smart fella. Papa said he's going to make him quit his job and go to work for you. And it's elegant. Don't forget to tell Dora to call me, huh? All right. What? I'll ask him. Jay.
Yeah, what do you want?
Sam says the meeting couldn't be at 2 o'clock. His lawyer's busy and he couldn't make it till 3.
What do we need with lawyers?
Did you forget you and Sam were splitting?
Oh, yeah, for a minute I forgot.
I'll remind him. Hello, Sam. Papa says never mind the meeting. Yeah. Instead, you and Dora should come to supper tonight. 6 o'clock. Yeah, we're having Sidney. And Papa says you should stop by the office and bring our firm check. Papa's got to have an extra $1,000. He has to buy Sarah some new breakfast pajamas. Oh, Sam, yeah. You do it, huh? Well, all right. We'll see you about 6 o'clock. Yeah, goodbye.
Well, what did he say?
He said he'd bring the check.
Well, what else did he say?
He said never mind the pajamas for Sarah. He'll buy them.
Bob and Ray have this to say.
Hello again, ladies. We're sitting in Aunt Penny's delightful sunlit kitchen, ready for another delightful true-to-life story from Aunt Penny herself, who's just made some gingerbread. Aunt Penny, that looks delicious.
Well, you can just bet it is. And hello, everyone. Doesn't that look good, Danny?
I'll bet this is made with creamy, digestible chicken fat, Aunt Penny.
You bet it is. All my cooking and baking, I always use chicken fat because I find it so digestible. It just sits in your stomach like a commemorative $50 piece.
Well, I'm going to have a sample of it, Aunt Penny, while you get to today's true-to-life story.
But now, don't eat too much, Danny. It'll kill your appetite.
I won't, Aunt Penny.
Now then, ladies.
Do you mind if I raise the shade just a little bit? There seems to be too much sunlight here in your sunlit kitchen.
Well, would you please? Now then, the story I thought I'd tell you today is a story about...
How's that for you, Aunt Penny? Enough sunlight?
That's fine, Danny, although there's maybe a little too much coming in there. If you could just close the Venetian blinds just a tiny, tiny bit.
There, that's just about perfect.
Yes, that's fine. Story of Mr. and Ms. Edward Bullock.
Well, what about Mr. and Mrs. Bullock, Aunt Penny? Where'd they live?
Mr. and Mrs. Bullock...
Wait just a minute. Let me go over and fix the shade there. It flew up.
It did. Why don't you leave things alone, Danny?
Now, there it is, Aunt Penny. I'll just tack the corner of it here so it won't fly up again.
For Mrs. and Mrs. Bullock lived in a small town...
You got a hammer, Danny?
What?
Have you a hammer so I can tack this?
Oh, Danny, I can't tell stories if you're going to be running around the room like this.
Well, I just want to get the room.
Breaking the window, you've torn the shade down. Nice head of it. Here's a hammer.
Thank you, Aunt Penny.
Now, no more, please. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Bullock... Oh, my word, Daddy. What with all the carrying on, I'm afraid I don't have time for the story of Miss Bullock.
Oh, dear.
But you ladies remember now to do all your cooking with chicken fat. It's so digestible and so good that you'll have the fluffiest cakes and the nicest pie crust you ever thought possible.
I'm going to help myself to some more gingerbread, Aunt Penny, if you don't mind.
My word, you're a flannel mouth, Danny. Great Scott.
You're not going to leave our stories there, are you?
Well, I have to. I have to leave. Between all the talk about chicken fat and you're breaking the window and tearing down the shade, I haven't had time to tell the story.
Well, I'm sorry, lady.
A little later in the day, it's the kids' turn behind the radio dial. Now it's Jack Armstrong, followed by Captain Midnight.
Jack Armstrong! Jack Armstrong! The All-American Wheaties Breakfast of Champions bring you the thrilling adventures of Jack Armstrong, the All-American Boy.
Supper and catfish, Jimmy. What do you think you're doing anyway? You waving at somebody? Nope. Well, what are you doing? Stop swinging your arms and tell me. Okay, Bill. I'm practicing the crawl stroke. Practicing the crawl stroke? You trying to tell me that you're standing there on your own front porch wearing all your clothes and you're practicing swimming? Hey, who are you trying to kid? I'm not kidding anybody. My swimming coach says to practice the crawl stroke out of the water. That's what I'm doing. Your swimming coach? Who's he? Matt Mann, that's who. Just about the greatest swimming coach of all time. Hey, I've heard of him. He's coached plenty of champion swimmers. But wait a minute. How come he's coaching you?
I'll answer that one. Matt Mann, famous swimming coach of the University of Michigan, is just one of the champions who hands you advice in the Wheaties Library of Sports. Yes, you can learn to swim the Matt Mann way when you order the fully illustrated book, Want to Be a Swimming Champion. Of course, this big sports library curbs plenty of other events, too. Football, basketball, just about every major sport. And every one of these books is written for you by a man or woman who's tops in his particular sport. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it? 14 books that tell you how to sharpen up your game. Real tips from champion athletes and coaches. You'll find the complete dope about the Wheaties Library of Sports on the back of your Wheaties packages. And, of course, if you're going to get the full benefit of the Wheaties Library of Sports, you'll want to start training like a champion right now. One thing you'll want to do is eat right. 3 square meals every single day. And when it comes to breakfast, make sure you get your first meal started right with big helpings of milk, fruit, and Wheaties Breakfast of Champions. And now, Jack Armstrong and the Swindle of G.I. Joe. Lippy and Angles, the two unscrupulous racketeers who are swindling returning servicemen, have suddenly done an about-face, but only because their greed and avarice points out a new avenue of profit. Jack Armstrong and Uncle Jim are using the very scheme on them that they employed on the G.I. Joes. Jack has enlisted the aid of hundreds of soldiers, sailors, and Marines to go to the various places Lippy and Angles sold to the unsuspecting servicemen and make it appear that these places are enjoying a great deal of prosperity. The two swindlers have taken the bait, and the trap will soon close in around them. They seem excited about something this very minute, for Lippy is trying his best to dial a telephone number.
Well, if the line is busy this time, I'm going to give up. Doggone it, this is the 12th time we tried to contact Mickey Conner.
Well, that store is busy.
You're telling me. I'm getting a buzz again.
There's no use losing your temper. Wait a few seconds and then try it again.
I'm an impatient man, Angles. That was always my trouble. Flo used to complain about that, too. She'd say, Lippy, you're an impatient man. Gee, it's lonesome around here without Flo.
I'm beginning to wish you were back here, too. It was getting monotonous just listening to you and your drivel. While you're there at the phone, why don't you call Chip again and find out whether he can get his hands on any more money?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Boy, if we don't get more dough and get it in a hurry, we're going to lose the best business opportunity we ever had. Let me see now. Where's his number? Oh, yeah, here it is.
If we don't get that extra money before Colonel Fairfield calls all the G.I. Joes together, we're sunk. We have to buy back each and every one of those places.
Well, we've already got Al Bond's name on the dotted line. Oh, what a sucker he was to let go of that garage. All that business coming in, and he sells out for $1,000 profit. Hello, Zip. You know what this is? Oh, doggone it, you can always guess. Now, look, Chip, I got another nice favor to ask from you. Are you going to get that dough down here, or do I have to come out and knock your head off? Why should I be polite? Get it down here, or else you better scram out of town. Next week will be too late. We got to get all the cash we can this week. Well, you shouldn't have put the dough in your wife's name. Just tell her to write out a blank check. You want to go to the haberdasher to get some new neckties and fill it in for any amount. No, of course you can't think of clever things like that. That's up to me all the time. That's why I'm boss. Okay, get that check down here. We'll cash it. Okay, so long.
Lippy, you should be on the stage.
Honest? You know, Angles, all the time I wanted to go on the stage, but I only got as far as the box office. Yeah, that's where all the money was kept. I even swiped the ticket for the show, came in and saw it the next day. Well, Jeff's going to come down with that check. One, I should try Mickey Conner's number again.
Might as well. Lippy, I think we'd better go ahead and buy as many of these places as we can with the amount of money we have and trust to luck that we'll be able to get some more. I was just thinking, the money we borrowed from the boys will have to be paid back very soon.
Yeah, I know it. We told them we'd give it back in 10 days. Okay, don't glare at me. I was the one that made that mistake. Hello? For goodness sakes. This is Mickey Conner's radio store, ain't it? Oh, hiya, Mickey. This is Mr. Waxer. Gee, I almost said Lippy. Yeah, well, I'm glad to hear from you, too, Mickey. Me and my attorney, Mr. Raywall, is coming down here to see you on that proposition we talked over yesterday. Well, we've decided to give you what you want. Oh, now, look here, Mickey, $500 more.
Tell him okay before he raises another $500.
But Angles, go, all right. Okay, Mickey, old boy, we'll meet your demands. We're all ready to sign over the old mortgage. We'll be down there in, 20 minutes. How's that? Well, gee whiz, it won't take that much time. The customers can wait for a little while, can't they? Okay, Mickey, we'll make it an hour. Yeah, it'll be in cash, Mickey. Yeah, so long.
We'll buy you twice that money. Don't look so despondent.
I know, but you'd think when I was so nice to him and sold him that place for practically nothing, he'd give me a break.
And you sold it to him, it wasn't worth anything. Or have you forgotten that?
Well, yeah, for a minute it kind of slipped my memory. He said he'd be down to see us in an hour.
Yeah, I heard you say that. Well, let's get down to the bank and get the money out of the safety deposit box. I have contracts drawn up for about 50 of the G.I. Joes. We'll take most of the cash. Better call one of your hoods and take him with us for protection.
Yeah, I'll see. We can stop in on the third floor and get Monk to accompany us. And we got to get the key to the safety deposit box out in the wall safe first.
Which means that we have to go through that crazy routine again. Go ahead. Your wife, Flo, gave the first 3 numbers of the combination to you.
Well, can I help it if Flo didn't trust either one of us? Okay, I'll twist the combination for my 3 numbers. But don't go looking.
Oh, stop being childish.
Gee whiz. Every time I swing this picture of Honest Abe away from in front of the safe, I get the willies. Now, let me see. The left like that. You get it, Engels.
Must be Leo or Gus calling.
Now, what'd you say, Yang? Oh, doggone it. Now I forgot where I was. Let's see, to the left.
Hello? Yes, Gus, I was expecting you to call. Been following Colonel Fairfield everywhere, eh? That's good. We have to know what he's doing. So the district attorney's office again? We able to find out why? I told him that when he got back to the hotel, eh? Well, I'm glad to know that, Gus. Stay on his trail. Lippy and I are going to be away most of the afternoon. Call us back here at about 6. We'll be expecting you. So long.
Did Gus have good news, Engels? Is that why you're grinning?
No, I was just amused at something. Gus said that Colonel Fairfield told Jack Armstrong that he would like to have me talk to the G.I. Joes. Called you and me their benefactors.
Oh, yeah? I'll make him eat that word. He can't call me and you.
Oh, shut up. He was being complimentary. All right, let me get at that safe for my 3 numbers. Don't even trust your own partner. Now, never mind watching me.
As though you trust me. What else did Gus say?
He said that Colonel Fairfield is going to advise the Joes to hold on to their places. There. Now, do you trust me to carry the key?
Oh, sure, I got a gun in my pocket.
You and your guns. Well, come on, let's get the money and buy those places back before Jack Armstrong and Fairfield spoil everything for us. Those places must be coining dough if he's going to advise them to hold on to them.
You're telling me. We can't lose no time in getting them back. Come on, let's get down to the bank.
Jack Armstrong and Billy are at Mickey Connor's radio store. They were there when Lippy called. Let's join our 3 young friends and learn what's new.
He'd be surprised if he knew that Uncle Jim is posing as Gus. Uncle Jim has his voice imitated perfectly.
Talk about good acting. You take the cake, Mickey. You sure put over that telephone conversation. I bet you almost fainted when Lippy said he'd give you what you asked.
Well, didn't you see my jaw drop open? I never expected to sell this lemon at a profit. Lippy wanted to come right over and close the deal. That's because Uncle Jim, as Gus, told those 2 men we were calling all you G.I. Joes together in a few days. They want to buy back all these places before that meeting. I wish I could have been at that listening device to hear what they said after Lippy talked to you.
Betty probably recorded it, Jack. She's over there.
I hope she did. Well, Mickey, Billy and I had better make ourselves scarce before they come here to close the deal.
Well, I wish you could hang around and hear everything. I wonder if they'll offer me the manager's job again.
Of course they will. That's part of their scheme. They want to advertise these places as the G.I. Joe chain.
But they'll offer you peanuts. They offered Al Bond $25 a week to run his garage for him. He got 50 out of him.
Well, how long is he going to work for him?
For 1 week.
Well, that's the length of time Lippy's man helped him when he first bought the garage from him. That's the same medicine they gave him. All's fair. I'll only have to work half a week. I was deserted in 3 days.
Incidentally, Mickey, I think your idea of turning your profit over to the vets is a swell one. Uncle Jim thinks so, too.
Well, it's only fair. All I want, well, in fact, all any of the boys want, is the return of our original investment so we can buy a good small business that'll make us a living. Oh, look, I'm keeping you. I'll let you know all about the deal.
If they pay you in cash, get it in the bank right away. It'd be just like them to hold you up and take it away from you.
Don't worry. The boys will take me to the bank. I'll call you tonight. I got to tell the fellas to look like customers again. I'll be seeing you.
All right, Mickey. Come on, Billy.
Don't weaken, Mickey.
I won't.
Billy, don't look now, but when we get in the car, notice that big man leaning against the post.
Against which post?
Don't look, I tell you. Get in the car. Let me slide through. Get in and close the door. Come on, hurry.
Yeah, okay. How's that, Jack? Where is he?
Right ahead of you. I won't look up. A man who looks like a wrestler, see him?
Yeah, I see him. What a mug. Looks like Frankenstein made up to scare himself. Who is he, Jack?
He was standing across from our hotel this morning. He must be one of Lippy's gang. If he tells Lippy or Angles that he saw us in Mickey's store, it might queer everything. I've got an idea.
What are you going to do?
Drive around to the rear of Mickey's radio store. Get the G.I. Joes to take care of him.
How?
Like they took Iwo Jima. That invasion, Billy.
Hot dog, I want to see this. Now, how are you going to have him do it, Jack?
Wait till I get inside and explain it to them. We'll swing around this corner and drive in the alley and back of the place.
It's a lucky thing you recognized him. Are you sure it's the same guy?
Positive. Billy, look down there at the next corner.
Lippy and Angles.
And walking fast. They'll be at the store in a few minutes. Hold on while I swing into this alley.
I hope they don't see us. Step on it, Jack.
You're ready to jump out the second I stop. If Lippy and Angles beat us, we might as well quit.
Now, watch out for that bottle, Jack. Oh, boy, you almost ran right over it. We can't get a flat now. I'm all set to jump.
Keep watching out that back window. See if they pass the alley.
Can't see him yet.
Now watch your step. Okay, get that door open. Go ahead. Run for the back door.
I'm right behind you. Hey, I saw him come to the alley just before you stopped. Get that door open, Jack.
Mickey! Hey, Mickey! Come in the back room.
Is that you, Jack?
Yes, the back room. Come here quickly.
Then he means quick. Come on.
What's up? What are you doing back here? Mickey, there's a man out in front of your store. He's one of Lippy's gangsters. He saw Billy and me leave. Lippy and Angles are less than a block away. If that man tells Lippy he saw us, the whole scheme will blow up on us. Do you think your boys can get that man out?
I got you, Jack! Hey, gang!
Yeah.
See that guy leaning on that post out in front?
Sure.
Let's get him in the front door and out the back in 10 seconds. Come on! Get
Will that crowd of soldiers, sailors, and Marines be able to take their objective in time? I'll bet they do, too. But 10 seconds is a mighty short time. You'll want to know for sure, and so will I. So be sure, all of you, to listen in tomorrow to the next exciting adventure of Jack Armstrong and the swindle of G.I. Joe. There's a surprise. Now, make sure your breakfast gets started with Wheaties these days, because it's on the back of that orange and blue package that you'll find all the information about the 14-book Wheaties Library of Sports. Tomorrow morning, when you're helping yourself to milk, fruit, and Wheaties, Breakfast of Champions, take a good look at the list of books you can get. Better send for your Wheaties Library of Sports right away.
Have you tried Wheaties? They're whole wheat with all of the bran.
This is Franklin Ferguson saying goodbye for General Mills, makers of Wheaties, Breakfast of Champions, who invite you to listen tomorrow to another episode of Jack Armstrong, the All-American Boy.
So just buy Wheaties, the best breakfast food in the land.
The Skelly Oil Company presents Captain Midnight. Captain Midnight, brought to you every day, Monday through Friday, at the same time, by the Skelly Oil Company, Skelly Jobbers and Dealers. But first, I want to say this to you fellas and girls who already have your own copies of the new Flight Patrol Reporter. I want to ask you something. Isn't it a lot more fun to listen to Captain Midnight when you have your own picture map right in front of you? Doesn't it help to make it all real to you when you have every important place in Captain Midnight's whole Mexican adventure shown right there on your own picture map in the new Flight Patrol Reporter? Well, get it out there in front of you right now so you can see it. There in the middle, you see, is the Parada Hacienda, where Ivan Shark and his gang of cutthroats are making their headquarters. And down at the right, you see the crater of the extinct volcano and the dried lake bed where Captain Midnight landed his plane. Then, over to the left, you see Pinky and Slim's shack where Patsy stayed with Ma Donovan. And, up at the top of the map, you see the mountain pass through which Ivan Shark's men tried to drive Senor Pareda's herd of valuable cattle until Chuck Ramsey and Captain Midnight found a way to turn the stampede. But say, you can just about see the whole story taking place when you have a swell picture map like that, can't you? But of course, this picture map is only one of the dozens of thrilling features in the new holiday edition of the Flight Patrol Reporter. There's the story about the true meaning of the secret password Cobralhopa. Then there's the names of those who sent in the best answers. There's almost no end of exciting news about aviation and dozens of other things that every Flight Patrol member is interested in. So listen, if you haven't yet called at your Skelly service station to get your free copy of the Flight Patrol Reporter, do it right now before you miss the fun. Look, all you do is show your Skelly man your Flight Patrol membership card the next time you stop at your Skelly service station with Mother or Dad. Your friendly Skelly man will give you your very own free copy of the new Flight Patrol Reporter right on the spot. Just remember to have your Flight Patrol membership card with you and stop at your Skelly service station the next time you're out in the family car. And now to Captain Midnight. The famous pilot and Chuck Ramsey have succeeded, at least temporarily, in saving Senor Paredes' herd of cattle from being stampeded through the mountain pass by Ivan Shark's men. For this failure, Shark holds his chief pilot, Gardo, mainly responsible. As our scene opens today, we find the master criminal alone in his study. It is late at night. Suddenly, a sound is heard. As the secret panel opens and Shark says,
"It must be Fury."
May I come in, Father?
Yes, Fury. Come in and close the panel.
Yes, Father.
I am glad you chose this moment to enter, Fury. I have a matter to take up with you.
Very good, Father. I am listening.
After Gardo's failure today, I threatened to turn him over to your tender mercies, a proceeding which he seemed to dislike very much.
I have made complete preparations according to your instructions.
However, I have decided to give him another chance, Fury. So I fear you will have to be patient.
Why are you so indulgent, then? Let us make an example of Gardo. It will be good for the rest of the men. They will know what to expect when they fail to carry out orders. And besides, he may flee as Von Gliff did.
Have no fear upon that score, Fury. Gardo does not have the intelligence of Von Gliff. He will stay with us until the end.
And something tells me that the end for him will be very soon.
Perhaps, my dear Fury, you are right.
I am rather surprised to find you in such good humor, Father. I know very well this day has been a disappointing one for you. What happened to cheer you up?
Rossman sent a messenger from the mountains. His men have discovered a new entrance into the valley which shelters Captain Midnight and his friends.
Ah, that is indeed good news. You are, I presume, already making use of it?
No, Fury, not yet. But have no fear. I will.
It would be so easy, Father, to slip in by this new entrance and slaughter Captain Midnight and the others in their sleep.
No, Fury. It is not that easy. Captain Midnight is not a fool. We have established the fact that guards are on duty night and day. But a plan has been revolving in my mind, and if what I suspect is true, a certain event will happen which will appeal even to you.
I am all attention, Father. What is it?
Before this night is over, you will know. That will be Gardo.
Everything is ready, Chief.
Very good, Gardo. And now, Fury, if you care to accompany Gardo and myself on a short journey, we will find the secret entrance to the Aztec temple. Come, let us be on our way.
Listen, Ivan. What is that strange roaring sound I hear?
That, my dear Fury, is the waterfall on the other side of the temple.
Hey, look, Chief. The trail ends right ahead.
Not so hasty, Gardo. Let us examine the surroundings with my electric torch.
For once, it looks as if Gardo was right.
Hey, there ain't nothing in front of us but a stone wall.
Advance straight ahead, Gardo.
Okay, Chief. But there ain't nothing but the wall ahead.
Keep on going.
Now I'm right against the wall.
Move to your right 2 steps.
Okay, Chief.
What is it you are doing, Ivan?
One moment and you will see. Now, Gardo, push against the rock with all your strength.
Okay, Chief. Hey, a million horses ain't gonna budge this rock, Chief.
Look, the rock's moving.
Well, can you tie that, Chief? Why, this rock's moved in about an inch.
Yes. And if you will look to your left, you will see an edge which has moved out.
This is marvelous, Father.
Yes, Fury. The Aztecs were engineers of the highest order. That block of marble is balanced perfectly. Push in, Gardo, until there's room to enter.
Hey, I never seen anything like this in my life.
Look! The opening is large enough now for a person to enter.
I will take the lead, Gardo. You will not be able to see without the torch.
Okay, Chief. I ain't any too keen about going into that black hole anyway.
I will go in front, and you two will follow me. Now, let us enter. If I am right, we will come to some stairs within a few steps.
There they are, Father. Right ahead.
Yes, so I see.
Hey, are we going down there, Chief?
We most certainly are, Gardo.
I am eager to see what's ahead, Ivan. Let us go down.
Hey, I don't like places like this. It feels wet and creepy in here.
Just like a child, are you not, Gardo? Afraid of the dark.
I like this place, Father. It has great possibilities. Why, look. We are at the foot of the stairs.
So I see, Joyce. And before us is another chamber hidden by this wall. Gardo.
Yes, Chief, here I am.
Go forward and press upon that rock.
Okay, but I sure don't like this place. Oh, this wall's all slimy, Chief.
And what of that? Press upon it, Gardo. No, not there. A little bit to your left.
It's moving back. The rock's swinging in.
Just as I expected. Now then, follow me again.
Oh, this is an awful place, Chief. It's so damp and the floor's wet.
Stop, Father. Listen.
Hey, listen, Chief, I hear water.
Yes, you do, Gardo. I read an account of a place like this once in the British Museum. But this is the first one I have ever seen.
I have it, Father. I have been listening. And now I know. We are below the water line.
You are quite right, Joey.
Well, what's this place for, Chief?
That, Gardo, is a question which I hope to answer for you very soon. This dungeon was conceived by the Aztec kings for a certain purpose.
I believe, Ivan. I am beginning to see.
I did not believe it would take you long, Joey. But to answer your question, Gardo, if someone else was standing in a certain place and wished to be rid of us, the stone gate by which we entered would close. And very soon we would feel water creeping up around our ankles.
Oh, hey, get me out of here.
Perhaps, Ivan, we should leave Gardo in here when we leave. After all, he failed you today.
Oh, no. No, don't, Chief. Don't leave me in here. I'll make good. I'll do anything you say.
Quiet, Gardo. I shall not leave you here. At least, not tonight. I came here to find out if my surmise was correct. Now that it is, my final plans for Captain Midnight are complete.
A perfect resting place for Captain Midnight.
Well, how you gonna get him in here, Chief?
As soon as we return to the hacienda, you will send a message to Rossman. Tell him to have his men attacked at daybreak. Captain Midnight has discovered a means of getting out of the valley and down to this temple. When attacked, the temple will naturally be his next place of refuge. In fact, he probably has that already in mind.
Perfect, Father. Perfect.
When we leave, we shall allow the stone door to remain ajar. I know now the point from which the chamber is controlled. Tomorrow, we will rid ourselves of Captain Midnight. Then we will deliver the herd to Senor Lucho. And come back later for the parade of treasure. Come, let us hasten back under cover of the night.
In the meantime, on the other side of the mountain, a different scene is taking place. Captain Midnight's party are gathered by a campfire, while Captain Midnight and Chuck sit by themselves at one side and talk earnestly. Listen as Chuck says,
Gosh, Captain, I never felt so thankful in my life. It certainly looked hopeless for a few seconds earlier today.
Yes, it did look hopeless, Chuck. When Senor Pareda and I saw you put that ship down with those steers charging at you, my heart sank.
You sure helped a lot by turning that herd.
Yeah, but I didn't turn it very much, Chuck. You were the one who got yourself and Patsy out of that jam. Tell the truth, I never even thought about that machine gun.
Well, it came all of a sudden. In a flash, I saw that if I could bring down several steers near the ship, the rest would pile up and split the herd.
Mm-hmm. And it worked perfectly, Chuck. Yeah, well, let's forget about that. We're all safe and well, back together again, and we've got to look to the future.
Well, thank goodness Von Grip's plane was almost full of gas. And now that we've divided the gas between the two ships, we're all set to fly tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. And we've got a tough job ahead of us, too. Shark's men will try to drive that herd through again, and we've got to prevent them. By the way, it's getting late. We've got to be up at daybreak.
Yeah, I guess we'd better get some shut-eye.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gosh, I sort of hate to leave the crowd. Look how happy everyone is. I never saw such a change in anyone as in Senor Pareda.
Yes. Now that he has Dolores back, he's a new man. Well, come on, Chuck. We'd better say goodnight to the others and hit the hay. Our fight is far from over. And I have a hunch there'll be plenty of excitement tomorrow, if I know Ivan Shark.
Captain Midnight is right. We know that Ivan Shark is preparing a fiendish trap for Captain Midnight and his friends. Will the pilot fall into it? Strange and exciting events are ahead. Don't miss them. Tune in tomorrow to Captain Midnight. And now, with things happening as fast as they are on this program, this is the last chance I'll have to tell you about the new holiday edition of your Flight Patrol Reporter. So don't forget, if you haven't got your free copy of your own club newspaper, have Mother or Dad stop in at your Skelly service station the next time you're out in the family car. Show your Skelly man your Flight Patrol membership card, and he'll give you your own Flight Patrol Reporter absolutely free. But now, here's something else. If you'd like to be the first one in your crowd to know all about some big news that everybody will soon be talking about, be sure to tune in this program tomorrow night. You'll get the news firsthand if you tune in tomorrow. Be sure to be at your radios good and early so you won't miss a single word of it. Listen at the same time, same station, for further transcribed adventures of Captain Midnight, brought to you by the Skelly Oil Company, Skelly Jobbers and Dealers. Will Ivan Shark succeed in his fiendish plan of getting Captain Midnight into the ancient torture chamber of the Aztec Temple? What will happen next? Be sure to listen tomorrow. Until then, this is Don Gordon, your Skelly man, saying goodbye and happy landing!
That's it for this week. We'll be back next week with more old-time radio. I hope you can join us then. Till then, this is Jim Dolan thanking you for listening. The RTC Weekly Download is produced by Chris Stone and Jim Dolan.